Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. Last time we ended up finding Ronnie in a doll and then made our way to Rena's Rise, went through a teleporter which brought us here to the Ainsel River main, fought our way through, and now we're sitting here inside of Nokstella. Now we get to throw down against... Actually, these guys, the person on there should seem familiar. It is the Nox mages that we fought back in Caelid, actually. Took a little more than I wanted, but whatever. Damage is damage. Yeah, it's one of the bosses from Celia, the Town of Sorcery. Which is a neat little thing, kind of tying a lot of this stuff together. Granted, in typical Souls fashion, nothing's explained. So we don't know why Nokron and Nokstella are underground, if this was their intent, if they sunk here, why they are the way they are. It's just like, yeah, it's a place, and there's people, and giant ants, and Nokron has Ooga Booga wild men hanging out, and that's all. You really want to throw down? Yeah, I figured you'd go for the dodge. I've never fought them before in Melee. I've never seen that. That is the weirdest thing. Allow me to double shield. Like, okay. Weird. I can tell you here and now, though, I need to get... I need my gear to get leveled up a bit. My magic is getting pretty weak. I'd also like to switch off this sword. It's not bad, but it's definitely not what I want at the moment. We're not going to go up the stairs for a while because this whole area connects. Like, you can tell we go up and around and over, and there's a whole underside here that can be cleared, and there's loot, so better to clear here first. So, if you haven't heard the news, apparently the DLC, the first DLC for this game, has been leaked. At least the title, which is, I think it was Land of the Barbarians, which would be referencing where one character we will meet later, Horalu, who later becomes named Godfrey, he ends up getting banished there to kind of find his grace, I believe it was. And it's also where Nefelilu comes from. It's kind of implied it's like not exactly like a daughter to him, but more of like a member of the same clan. Which all in all is still pretty interesting. The leak says it won't come out until financial quarter 3, 2023, which I understand entirely. When you think about how long it would take to make a FromSoft level open world area, you know, they have a pretty in-depth design system they have going on here, and they make stuff look pretty good. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Wah, why isn't it out sooner?" Like, nah, I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do, work in your time constraints. But, oh, it's gonna explode. Never seen that before. I'm seeing all sorts of new things. Guess that's what happens when you mostly go in here with intelligence magic the first time. This kind of stuff just doesn't happen to you. I probably could have held off on that until getting all of these guys, but who cares? Wow, it's nothing! I do kind of appreciate, like, on one hand I hate these little, like, dead ends that go nowhere, but I do kind of appreciate them, because it fleshes out the areas and it makes you wonder, like, is there something around this corner? Because otherwise, if it's all very straight lines of stuff here, then go to stuff here, the environments just don't feel believable. My God. Oh, wow. That was actually better than expected. I love the fact these guys can actually hurt each other with their little electrical explosion. Also, I'm making good souls off these guys. It's definitely not farming vulgar militia levels, but for what I'm doing and what it's worth, I'd say this is still a pretty good bit of souls. Yep, and down there is where I fought the Dragon Knight. Ah, so close. I was really hoping on that one. But I got the flask, so I don't care. God, I love that. Elden Ring has spoiled me, honestly. I tried firing up the Surge, because I own that, and I got through, like, just the starting area. Didn't even get to a boss, and I just stopped and deleted the game. I'm like, nah. This ain't it. Which is unfortunate, because the ideas behind that game are really cool. But I definitely think, even when it came out, it was a bit kind of behind in design choices. And I think it's gonna have to, if the devs make the Surge 3, which I hope they do, I hope they learn stuff from Elden Ring. Admittedly, I think I've mentioned this before, but I always worry when games do well. Because, like we saw when Elden Ring came out, all these other devs for other studios got super angry. They're like, oh, people don't like our games. What do they like about this? There's no UI, there's no any of this stuff. I'm like, people like it because it's not holding our hand. It's still a fun and challenging experience. You know, it's something different. And they just failed to grasp what people liked about it. And that's kind of what scares me in a way, is because if they fail to grasp what people like about a game, they will likely try to replicate what they think is good. And so they'll be like, oh, well, people liked it because there's no quest log. And then they'll just make a game with no quest log. But it'll still suck because that wasn't the thing that people liked. Or they'll go, oh, people like free roam games again, and like other free roam games, other open world games, we'll get a game that just has nothing in it. You know, you kind of need a world that's busy with stuff, as opposed to a world full of just collectibles, which is a problem these games, not FromSoft, but a lot of other developers have, is they just make games full of collectibles. I remember that in, Assassin's Creed. You know, you get these maps, it's like, hey, there's stuff you can do. And I remember going through and it's just like, here's like 3 dozen collectibles in this area. I'm like, I don't care. I genuinely don't. This doesn't add anything to the game. A bunch of random MacGuffins to scoop up doesn't make a game. You know, add bosses, I mean, look at the talismans in this game. Basic as can be. Just, oh yeah, here's a +1, a +2 version of some of the talismans. That's a simple thing that actually can be quite interesting. I hate these bugs. But going back, it's always a gamble because that lack of understanding and devs just making assumptions. It's like the current new trend, I can already predict, thanks to every developer kind of hinting at it already or just flat out saying they're doing a Tarkov-style mode, is extraction shooters. Because everyone's like, oh, people like Tarkov, and Tarkov has extractions. And it's like, that isn't the reason. The people I know who play, including myself, like it because it's hardcore, because you lose your gear when you die. Dust 514 did gear permanence and losing stuff upon death. That was a good game too. It's not the extraction element. Far from it. And Tarkov, the developers have said they want to move away from the extraction element and make it open world. So that's kind of a thing where it's like, that's a temporary measure for this game. It's always concerning. And it's like, I don't blame devs for it. But it's a matter, I always say, of do what you're good at, not what you think is popular. Otherwise, you're just going to spend all your time chasing trends. And yeah, you might hit it big on one trend, but it's going to go away. You know, build up a core audience. Build up an identity. I mean, look at Ubisoft. You can give Ubisoft as much crap as you want. I do. Oh yeah, this will come back to here in a minute. Actually, no, screw it. We're going here. Here and now. We're just getting it marked. Oh, actually, this is the wrong one. Is this where... No, this isn't where I think it's going. No, this can't be. Or is it? No, this is it. No, this is where I thought it was. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we'll definitely come back here later. But yeah, Ubisoft. Say what you will about Ubisoft. You know, their games are kind of lifeless. They're repetitive. They make Far Cry, and everything is just Far Cry with a new villain. I'm not going to fight you on any of that. But, you know, Far Cry, Rainbow Six, that kind of stuff, it is their identity. Now, could they do better with all of it? Oh, absolutely. Far Cry can definitely do with new mechanics. I'm just trying to think here what can be done. Ooh. Free Golden Centipede. Rainbow Six could honestly do with a new game that's not just a competitive shooter. They could definitely do with a new Hawks or Advanced Warfighter game. There's infinite possibilities there, but they just have to actually, you know, capitalize on it. I want to just teleport, but I'm so close. Oh, this guy, yeah. We should definitely clear this area out first. What up, homie? I probably should have just chain charged, but whatever. Wasn't the box. Glovewort. Nah, it's Ghost, level 9, so... when I get the character I'm looking for, I should be getting them pretty soon, I'm just gonna use that, and we'll be good to go. I actually have to change my gear when I do the fight that I have to do. Because I need to rock... Oh god, I don't have it. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit tougher, because I need Crucible Knight gear. Whatever, I'll make do. It's just for a damage up, I'm not too concerned. I've done more with less. But yeah, like, Ubisoft has an identity, and every studio does, and I think they need to kind of stick to that, as opposed to trying to just clone each other. Because, I mean, that's kind of why all these studios end up going under, is because they all just try to be the same. I'm gonna need 82, 83, probably? What are we sitting at? 83, yep. So I need 8k more. Ah, God, I wish it would tell you how many runes you get off these. Okay, so we can do... have to do 3. A little bit of a overdue, but whatever. And just put another point into faith. It's flat out more damage. I do want to switch off this weapon, though. As good as it is, it very quickly shows kind of its age. And that is a problem I have. You know, it's solid, it works, but I don't like using the weapon art because of its long animation time. Even though it does have like a... when you first swing it, there is a collision animation, so you can actually get a free hit. But I don't like trying to rely on something like that. Oh, that's cool. Shortchanged it. Hey, the ant skull helmet. Or not helmet, shield. I believe it actually gives you resistance. Or like poison resistance buildup stuff. Yep, if you hit, deals poison, and then boost to immunity. I mean, it's not bad. It's a lighter great shield. And I mean, it doesn't have the lowest strength requirement, but it's lower. Fan daggers. They work. Hey, maybe I can get a free flask here in a second if you just keep giving these to me. Yeah, I got it. Oh yeah, this is gonna be easy kill. And there goes the whole room. Oh no, these guys aren't the electric ones. Foiled. Hoisted by my own petard. I just realized these guys are literally the phalanx from Demon Souls. The shield, granted, instead of a pseudopod, they just had a spear they'd use. But the general idea, they're the phalanx. Man, why couldn't we have had the Phalanx Demon come back? Phalanx Demon was awesome. It was just a giant blob of tar covered in shields. And then it would shed off some of them. And it was super vulnerable to fire. So you'd hit it with a firebomb and it would just go nuclear. Man, that was a fun early boss in Demon Souls. Hey, archers, I need those. Those I will probably use against Rykard. I mean, I could use potentially Oga. And he's gonna have more survivability. So, I mean, that is an option here. Somber 7, pretty good. Ah, fog wall. Oh, because I went... This is the back way, yep. I was like, wait, why can't I enter? But, because I kind of cheated and went around it. Oh, and because it's a stone sword fog wall. Fireball. Leave me alone. I'm just a nice dude with some nice dreams. And there is a giant boulder below me. Nox monk armor. Huh. I don't think I ever farmed that on my main. Yeah, I figured he'd go for the double dodge. I gotta bait him into an area he can't dodge in. Oh! The boulder is just here! Hello, boulder! Nice of you to roll in? Actually, you can hang around here. You're hurting the other guy. This is the stupidest thing ever. Okay, move in, guy. Nope, he's rolling through the wall. Hit me through the wall. No time. A larval tear, that's what I got out of it. I mean, it's good. It's a respec. That's effectively the critical part here. Night Maiden and Swordstress puppets. That's one thing that's weird, is they're puppets. They're not just ashes, they're specifically puppets. And of course, they're kind of meh. Once again, there are far better characters, or far better ashes, with far better utility. I mean, the archers can inflict frostbite. That alone, even though they're goofy little goobers like the pale-skinned dudes who shoot arrows, they're solid because of that. All these other characters, that is something I will say is a problem, is status meta. You know, status effects are so good that if you aren't using status effects, it boils down to, well, why not? Ah, hello, ball. Don't mind... Oh, you did that. Okay. Another larval tear. Cool. I can now respec and go back. And great Ghost Glovewort. So now I can bring one ash to level 10. In general, I'd say this is panning out pretty well. Also, I swear, when I did this in my first run, those boulders just bodied me. Guess I'm just getting better. I mean, this is kind of my third playthrough. Except my arcane guy is kind of like, I play him willy-nilly. I'd have to say, though, playing like a flat melee only is very difficult compared to being a caster. Like, not being able to just back up and fling something at somebody, you don't realize how good you have it until you try to fight without it, and you're like, oh god, I only have melee. Yeah, you can use kunai, or not kunai, not shuriken, oh my god, kukris, or throwing daggers or any little thing like that, but in general, you're still not in a good spot. Hit the ball! I do appreciate the fact that this game does reward you, in a way, for actually paying attention to the environment. Like, that boulder you could actually hit before it dropped. You know, some games would be like, oh no, well, it's not active, so it can't take damage. But in this, they're just like, yeah, if you can see it, hit it. It's a nice way of rewarding players for being observant. And it's just like, hey, you know, you're learning to look in the environment. You've realized that these mimic tier slimes are on the roof or on the ceiling, so you're looking. You know, you're not just barreling in, you know, head first without thinking into every encounter. Huh? Oh, yeah, I think I have to go this way. Man, people don't know how good we have it with these scarabs compared to having to do, like, the crystal lizards. I do miss crystal lizards, though. They were fun. Alright, Olga, time to get to work. I was about to say, please shoot and not just, like, go full melee. Oh, you absolute buffoon! Knock Swordstress Crown. Okay. Do the obligatory room check. Ooh, what is it? Oh, Muna Nokstella. All it is a talisman that gives you an extra spell slot, which if you're doing all of the towers in every area, you don't need it. I need to think, actually. Oh, I didn't even do this one. Yeah, there's a tower here you have to do, or I have to do still. And then you have converted tower. they're not hard, realistically, and it's free spell slots. You know, it's not like they're super difficult puzzles. The only one that's tough is up in the consecrated snowfields. There's one where you have to either hit these stone imps with crystal darts to make them attack each other and kill one through that, or you have to summon fanged imps, the stone imps, yourself with ashes. And you can either start with those ashes or you can find a merchant who sells them. Do I remember that merchant? No, not at all. So I had to do it with the darts, and the thing that sucks about the darts is they're like, oh yeah, it'll proc and they'll attack each other. And it also works on the really big Erd Tree Burial Watchdogs. The thing they don't tell you is it's not like guaranteed doink them once and they go. It is multiple hits you have to chain for it to proc. So I was sitting there trying to figure this out, and then I just started wailing on one, because I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to kill this guy out of pure frustration. And then he just got zapped and was like, oh, me need to fight everyone. I was like, oh, okay. Nice to have been, informed of that. Okay, so we got all this area cleared. Cleared to here, bugs. And now we're going to go into that elevator tower. I think it's that one. Nope, this one. Okay, what's our safest vector of approach? Surprised there really isn't. That's fine, I guess. I can finesse this. Actually, with them moving now, this is easy. Because I just gotta move over here, bonk him twice. And now we ride. Hey, I have enough to get another flask. Cool. That is a good sign. What's my allocation look like? 6-6? Works for me. I actually need to go and make sure I've cleared all of the Erd trees, because I feel like I'm missing something for my physic. Actually, I'm going to check that here and now. What do I have on this? Fire damage, faith. Yeah, that's... Considering I fireball people all the time, that's probably my best option, because that's just... I think that's like plus 10 faith. So, let's say that equates to literally 10 damage. Let's say the fire gives me another 10. I mean, that's 20. That's not at all accurate considering how magic scales. But I mean, even just for melee, 10 damage, which will give me like 10 fire and 10 physical, I think, or something. I don't remember stat breakdowns and how it works entirely. I just know more stats is better. I gotta say, I'm surprised they didn't go giant spiders. Like, the way this whole area is set up, it practically begs for giant spiders. And I'm glad they didn't, because I hate spiders. Yeah, basilisks!
Baleful Shadow, thou art the last. Tell the two fingers that Rani the witch cometh to rend thy flesh with a fateful wound, ne'er to heal.
I think that's all the heals he gets, so I can at least know I'm safe. Thank God the Baleful Shadow is very, very slow. And this also kind of plays into a bit of lore bit, because think about it. The Baleful Shadow looks like Blythe. Blythe was made by the Two Fingers to look after Rani. He's effectively a spy for them. Really, I figured out his, like, aggro distance. Okay, that's fine. This does cheapen the fight, but you know what, that's the whole thing here, is I'm just showing you can cheap out a lot of these fights, and I've said it before.
My thanks. 'Twas more of a challenge than I envisioned. Now I can finally stand before them. This is farewell, my dear. Tell Blythe and E.G. I love them.
We can use that later to teleport. Actually, we can open up a chest, and it's a whole song and dance. But we got that done, which is good. Does this put me kind of where I thought it was gonna be? Yeah, this is exactly where it's gonna put me. So you get to see the most one of the most agitating areas in this game. Behold! The Lake of Rot. Entirely scarlet rot. You see that? That's scarlet rot. Over there, more scarlet rot. Over there, even more scarlet rot. We don't have a map for this area. I think it's just down here. It's all scarlet rot. Maybe this guy has it? I hope this guy has the map. Yep. Yeah, check that out. I have to check. Actually, do I have there's a spell I need. Oh, sweet. I do have Flame Cleanse Me. Okay, we're fine. Because that's the one thing you need here, is the ability to heal yourself and cleanse all the Scarlet Rot. What can we dump? Yeah, we're just going to switch that out. But we're going to call it here. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.